Upon graduation from college, Bill traveled west seeking adventure. He arrived at the South Pole 3 hours later, where he took up a job as an assistant penguin shaver. Although Bill was allergic to snow and all things chilly, he was hoping to get good enough at shaving penguins to compete at the national level. But, as luck would have it, the next day he joined the Army. We spoke with his former Army commander, Major Undertaking.
Yeah, I remember the little freak. Used to complain because the U.S. wasn't at war with the Australians. He was just the sort of punk we used to have to deal with back in Nam.
He used to march up and down the flagpole by the barracks, and occasionally drive a tank through the general's office.
Normally, we would have had him shot right away. At least that's the way we did it back in Nam. Anyway, I remember one day a private got his head stuck in a cannon. And Bill ran around him all day taking pictures singing, "Rock Me Amadeus." Back in Nam, we were more concerned about Charlie in the bush. We had no time for singing. Leastways, Bill was then discharged for claiming to be a midget during peacetime. A midget once saved my life back in Nam. Last I heard about Bill, he was running for president. He's got my vote.
Just out of curiosity, how long were you in Vietnam?
I never said I was in Vietnam!
Bill then wandered the streets of Brazil, doing what he himself called nothing. For a few weeks he tried something, but preferred nothing because the hours were better. Then he took to wandering to and fro, but found Fro to be a fickle mistress who seemed old hat in retrospect. Instead, he decided to be seen hither and yon for a while, much to the dismay of all those who looked on. Then, having exhausted all of his means, he entered a Popeye look-alike contest. The results of the contest were mixed, with the majority of the judges claiming the final score to be 5-7. After collecting the contest's grand prize, a trip to Atlantis for 10 days and no nights, Bill then decided to become a famous author. His first book, More Tales Than One Could Shake a Stick At, was an immediate success, and as a result, he was invited to have pudding with many of the celebrities of the day, including his boyhood idol, Spanky Mankiewicz. Mr. Mankiewicz had one of the most popular dancing asparagus shows ever broadcast on national TV. His show, called Pardon My Crap, Your Holiness, was an inspiration to young people everywhere, but especially those in prison. Each week, Spanky would take a few minutes out of his busy day to knit little hats for his troupe of dancing asparagus. Then, under the watchful eyes of children everywhere, they would dance. First slowly, then picking up the pace as Spanky chanted German obscenities at them. Soon the asparagus would be worked to a feverish pitch, all the while beaming with false pride and butter. Then, just as the children would begin to cry, the dancing would stop, the credits would roll, and Spanky Mankiewicz would be forcibly removed from the set, kicking and screaming until the following week. Bill loved this show. Despite Bill's newfound fame, he thought it best to lay low for a while. His lawyers advised against this when they realized he meant it literally. In reaction to this, Bill decided to hobnob with hoity-toity bigwigs, but being labeled riffraff, he returned to the daily hodgepodge of his so-so life. Things went on like this for about an hour and a half. Then family members, friends, and one other guy suggested that he get counseling, seek the help that he desperately needed. So he checked into the Betty Ford Clinic under the alias of Billy. But once they realized his problem did not stem from drug use, he was asked to leave the facility and kicked in the teeth to emphasize the point. Dazed, confused, and slightly psychotic in a world that could never understand or at least pay for a man of his ilk, he then went to the local library to look up the word ilk. But being Sunday, he found the library to be closed.
Yeah, I'll never forget the whole ilk thing. And the sad thing is that all he had to do was come and ask me what it meant. I mean, yeah, sure, I'd have slapped him. I'd have kicked him. But that's what you get for coming to your father with stupid questions.